Morgan is going to break down just some of these first snowfalls we actually typically see here in the Quad Cities versus the first accumulation.
Yes, so this is a look at the first snow in the Quad Cities. So we are not talking about the first inch. We are talking about the first snow sighting, the first trace of snow, just enough to maybe cover up the grassy area just a little bit. On average, this is about November 20th. So if our forecast is tracking and we do see that chance of snow sometime late next week, we are on track to be on average for that first sighting of snow. When it does come to the first inch of snow, I am almost positive it is December. Okay, yes, December 5th. So first week of December is when we usually see our first inch of snow, which is kind of crazy to talk about, especially with how warm these temperatures have been, that we're less than a month away from that date, and we could be talking about our first inch of snow. But you can see the earliest was October 18th back in 1972, and the latest, February 10th. Can you imagine going all the way to February and not seeing one single inch of snow on the ground? I'm sure that'd be some people's ideal winter.
I was gonna say, would that be bad to ask?
Peter's like, can we do a replay of 1944?
Yeah, 1944, take me back.
Yeah.
Take me back.
So that is kind of a look at also our previous dates. So I think last year, 2023, this hasn't been updated. It was
not.
I gotta think about it.
I think it might have been.
Hold on, I'm gonna use your computer and I'm gonna figure this out real quick.
Yeah, I mean, so we saw earlier first snow, just a trace last year in 2023. It was actually a little bit sooner than normal. It was just around late October where we actually saw that first snowfall. That's different than the first inch we typically see.
Yeah, so first snowfall is kind of that first sighting. You see the snowflakes. Even then, I don't even know if the National Weather Service, if we just get a little bit of snow, if they're going to call that for the first snow of the year. When I'm kind of looking at this data, the data has to equivalent at least over 1/10 of an inch.
Yes, that's what a trace.
So you have to at least get enough to measure 1/10 of an inch of snow for it to be considered your first kind of snowfall for the season.
Yes.
So
another thing to keep an eye on too, as we showed you that 14-day tracker, we'll pull it back up. There's those multiple days in a row with that rainfall, those overnight temperatures. When you look at the overnight forecast, not the daytime forecast, there's also that snow mix in there Wednesday into Thursday and Thursday into Friday as well. So that's something to keep in mind as we get those cooler temperatures overnight. It's not just isolated to Friday. Again, this isn't a promise. This is just a trend we're noticing and the potential to see the current or the right conditions for that snow mix. So there's more than just those two opportunities you see on there. We could maybe see a couple more chances with this trend to actually see that snowfall.
Okay, so last year, the first snow for the season, looking at the timeline of November being kind of the start, we saw a trace of snow on November 25th. So again, just about average.
Just about right.
But the next day, we clocked 2.6 inches of snow.
Oh boy.
Yes, so that is definitely something that's a potential, is you can get that first inch of snow much earlier. So we definitely saw that first inch around November 26th when we usually see that in the beginning of December.